Do you feel the vibes?
What's going on YouTube? It's Yabra. Today we're going to be talking about Rainbow Six Siege leaked DLC and operators. Black Ice DLC. For those that don't already know, Black Ice DLC is coming out February 2nd for the Season Pass holders and on the 9th for everybody else. The map, which we don't quite know the name of quite yet, is going to be free for everybody. The operators are going to be free for the Season Pass holders, but it's going to be 25,000 renown each for everybody else. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the map itself. So we don't know a whole lot about the map. It did leak via the game subreddit, and Ubisoft Mexico did accidentally drop a video about the new map. It was kind of like a trailer. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that before it got pulled, but you can see a screen cap on the screen now of what it looks like. So we can clearly see it is a yacht that's frozen. Looks like maybe we can approach from different sides on the ice itself, which leads me kind of wonder. I wonder if the ice itself is slippery. That would be kind of cool. Also, being a boat, most boats have portholes rather than windows, so that leads me to think that the windows are going to be a little bit smaller as well. So don't really know how that's going to play with breaching or those pesky spawn killers. Also, this map kind of reminds me of Hijacked from Black Ops 2. If you guys don't remember that map, it was kind of a large super yacht. It was real popular on Black Ops 2 just because it had your standard 3 lanes, which you kind of expect from that type of game. That being said, I'm really looking forward to what this map could bring to the game. It looks kind of small, which is definitely okay with me because a lot of the maps on Rainbow Six Siege are pretty big considering the close quarters type action that we expect from this title. So moving on to the operators themselves. So we have Frost and Buck. So starting with Frost, Frost has a new gadget. It's called the Welcome Mat. You can see that in the photo on the screen. She essentially, it's a mechanical trap to incapacitate enemies. Okay, so that mechanical trap is kind of interesting to me because, as we know, Thatcher has an EMP grenade that basically renders Kapkan's entry denial devices useless. So this being mechanical, I think it's going to be able to not be overcome by that EMP grenade, which makes it kind of interesting. Now, I did read somewhere on the interwebs that this welcome mat is going to be pretty hard to notice. So that's very interesting to me. Essentially, what I heard also was that when someone steps in it, it incapacitates them, but it may not necessarily kill them. I don't really know how that's going to work, if they're going to be able to be revived or removed from the trap. Not sure how that's really going to work yet. Really excited to see that. So I would say Frost has an outstanding gadget, being the welcome mat. Really excited to see how that plays in the game. Now, as far as the weapons are a little bit underwhelming in my honest opinion. So we're going to start out with a shotgun. It's called the Super 90 shotgun. You can see that on the screen now. Has 42 damage, holds 8 rounds. Now, we could see it doesn't have a stock on it, so this is going to be real short range. It is pump action with a slow rate of fire. Now, I kind of find this interesting. Again, this is why I'm feeling a little underwhelmed. It does have less damage than the M870 and the M590A1. So less damage, but it does hold another round. So that's kind of nice. Now, moving on to the 9mm C1 submachine gun. You see that on the screen now. 38 damage, 575 RPM. Now, this just looks terrible to me. Maybe it's really accurate, I don't know. But it's just underpowered for that fire rate. I mean, if you look at other defenders in this game right now, we got the MP5K. That's 40 damage at 800 rounds per minute. I mean, 38, 575 versus 40, 800. I mean, come on. FMG, same thing. It's 35, so it's slightly less damage at 35. But it does 800 rounds per minute also on the FMG9. So I would say both of those are going to be better options than this 9mm C1. For that reason, I'm not really excited about Frost weapons. Overall, I think she's going to be real useful because of the trap, but that poor weapon stats, I think that's going to deter people from actually using this operator. The next operator that's going to be available in the Black Ice DLC is going to be Buck. Buck's gadget is going to be the skeleton key. Now, I'm not really sure why they're calling it the skeleton key. I mean, real life operators, they call this a master key. Reason being, you put the master key right up to where the lock is on the door, you blow the lock out, breach. So, not really sure why they called it skeleton key. Either way, it is a master key, which is a underbarrel shotgun attachment on the main weapon. Now that leads me into the weapons themselves. These are a little bit more intriguing than Frost weapons. We're going to start with the CMARS, C-M-A-R-S. CMARS has 52 damage and holds 20 rounds with a pretty decent single shot rate of fire. Now that being said, it does deal lower damage than the 417 that Twitch uses. Has actually quite a good amount less damage than that, but it does have double the round capacity with a little bit more fire rate. This could be pretty useful for those guys that like doing long range sort of attacks. Frankly, I'm not one of those type of people. I tend to like the ARs a little bit more. Because of the master key though, or the skeleton key rather, this is actually kind of an interesting little combo because you have your long range with the CMARS, you got your short range with the master key itself. So this could be a pretty effective little setup, but that's yet to be determined. We'll find out here in a week or two. Moving on to the next weapon, we have the C8 SFW. So this is actually a pretty badass little carbine. So it's essentially an M4 carbine with a master key underbarrel shotgun. It does 42 damage and 837 RPM. That is crazy, people. I mean, that is more than most of the submachine guns in Rainbow Six Siege. So this is pretty interesting to me. Now, they do less damage than some of the other attacker ARs, but that RPM is crazy. So that being said, I still think the F2 might be a better option because it has even higher RPM and it has lower recoil. Being lower recoil to me with that higher RPM makes the F2 seriously one of the best guns in the game. But this one, having that underbarrel shotgun, it could be interesting. That being said, that leads me to kind of wonder, is there going to be a grip option for this gun? If not, that recoil is seriously going to be an issue. As you can see in the weapon stats there, that recoil is pretty intense. That being said, though, overall, I think Buck is he's actually going to be mostly useless. I think his gadget is... I just don't think it's very useful, mostly because there are no doors for you to breach in Rainbow Six Siege. There's no actual doors. Of course, you have the barriers, but no actual doors that have locks in them. That's what a master key is designed for. It's designed to defeat a lock so that you can enter into a space quickly and efficiently. That leads me into thinking, though, what if Rainbow Six Siege did have openable and lockable doors? How amazing would that be? Seriously, that's something that I think is definitely missing from this game. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Rainbow Six Siege should have lockable and or usable doors? We do see this in CSGO a little bit, and it's pretty useful. Even having some doors where they have a hinge on them that kind of squeaks, kind of giving position away. I think that's a fantastic idea. Love to see that implemented into the game. Any case, what do I think really overall of this leaked information about this DLC? Well, I think the new operators have subpar weapons, to be honest with you, and I think really only half of them, meaning just Frost, has a usable gadget that's coming into the game. I think Frost is the only one that's going to make a real difference in how this game works. Now, as far as the map, there's not really enough information yet about the map to make any sort of opinion. So there you have it, folks. Rainbow Six Siege DLC coming up, Black Ice, February 2nd. and February 9th, depending if you're a season pass holder or not. Thank you everybody for watching. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more Tom Clancy news, reviews, and gameplay. Yeah, brah, out.